Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer on the foundations of entrepreneurship. We're going to be diving right into Catherine B. McGillis' curriculum today to unpack what it actually takes to, not just start a small business, but absolutely thrive in one. Whether you're gearing up to launch your own thing, studying commerce, or you're just kind of fascinated by how local economies tick, think of this as your go-to reference. Let's get right into it.
So here's our game plan for today. 1. Defining true entrepreneurship. 2. Roles and community impact. 3. Core entrepreneurial competencies. And 4. Essential entrepreneurial qualities.
All right, Section 1, Defining True Entrepreneurship and what it really means. Okay, so entrepreneurship is this highly dynamic thing, right? And it breaks down into these actionable phases: identifying opportunities, developing ideas, organizing resources, and creating value through business activities. For you as an aspiring entrepreneur, the absolute biggest takeaway here is that entrepreneurship is not just a noun. It's not just, starting a business or picking out a catchy name. It is an ongoing, active process. You've got to have the vision to see an opportunity where everyone else just sees a gap. Like, say, noticing your neighborhood literally has 0 reliable last-mile delivery services. Then comes the heavy lifting, organizing your time, your money, your people to turn that gap into a tangible service that creates genuine value.
Moving on to Section 2, Roles and Community Impact. Basically, the why of business.
According to our source material, entrepreneurs wear a ton of different hats, operating across 5 distinct roles. You're an opportunity identifier, you're an innovator, but you also have to be super pragmatic, right? Acting as a risk manager and a resource organizer. And ultimately, all of that rolls up into the 5th role, becoming a vital economic contributor. Because honestly, an entrepreneur doesn't operate in a vacuum. By managing risks and organizing all those resources, you become this absolute cornerstone of your local economy.
Just take the innovator role, for example. A true innovator doesn't just run a business doing things the exact same way they've always been done. No way! They're out there finding brand new efficiencies, designing way better products, and creating these improved local services that directly elevate their entire community. They're literally shaping the future of their industry right from their desk.
And the really crucial point here is how this individual effort just ripples outwards. By embracing these roles, you support your community in this massive upward cycle. Think about it. It starts with step 1, creating jobs. You hire an assistant, maybe a delivery driver. Then step 2, you're providing valuable goods and services to your neighbors. That naturally leads into step 3, encouraging innovation, because suddenly your competitors are scrambling to match your quality. And that competition, well, that leads to step 4, strengthening local industries as a whole. Until finally, step 5, you're contributing to massive long-term economic growth. It's just a beautiful chain reaction, and it all starts with your single entrepreneurial idea.
All right, Section 3, Core Entrepreneurial Competencies, the who of business. So the curriculum defines entrepreneurial competencies as the abilities, behaviors, and characteristics that enable you to identify opportunities, manage resources, solve problems, and achieve business objectives. Now, I really want to highlight the words behaviors and abilities for a second, because competencies go way beyond just textbook knowledge. I mean, you can memorize all the business theories in the world, right? But competencies are the active, practiced behaviors and the real-time problem-solving skills that actually empower you to get things done when the real world gets complicated.
Honing these specific competencies is exactly what creates true business sustainability. They're what help you identify those hidden opportunities and actually manage risks effectively. They allow you to make informed decisions instead of just, guessing and hoping for the best. They drive you to constantly improve your products and services, build rock-solid customer relationships, and, honestly, maybe most importantly, respond to changing market conditions. Because markets are never static, are they? Having these competencies ensures you've got the agility to pivot when the landscape inevitably shifts beneath your feet.
And practically applying these competencies, well, that means making incredibly smart and sometimes really tough management decisions on a daily basis. For example, keeping a lean staff requires you to balance giving firm direction with giving your people the actual autonomy they need to excel. As a leader, your competency is constantly tested on how well you can trust your small team to do their best work while still being crystal clear on the overall direction of the business. It is a super delicate balance, but mastering it is a core competency you absolutely need.
Which brings us to Section 4, Essential Entrepreneurial Qualities, Building Resilience.
Okay, so beyond those foundational competencies, there are 8 essential personal qualities that balance each other out in the real world. Let's walk through them really quick. First up, creativity and initiative. This means developing a unique product and taking that first step without waiting for someone to tell you to do it. Next, perseverance and adaptability. You've got to push through the hard setbacks for sure, but you also have to be adaptable enough to shift with market trends so you aren't just stubbornly banging your head against a brick wall. Then we have self-confidence and responsibility. That's believing deeply in your vision while completely owning the outcomes of your decisions, good or bad. And finally, leadership paired with a willingness to learn. You have to guide your team with authority while staying humble enough to remain totally open to new ideas. Take a second to really reflect on these pairings. They're basically the psychological blueprint of a successful business owner.
And that brings us to this absolutely beautiful, powerful metaphor from the curriculum regarding these exact qualities. It perfectly wraps up everything we've just talked about with perseverance, responsibility, and adaptability. It's the concept of the tough tree. The curriculum shares this incredible poem, and the quote here is just the ultimate takeaway. Good timber does not grow in ease. The stronger the wind, the tougher the trees. The poem basically says that a tree that never had to fight for sun or air, that just stood out in the open and always got its fair share of rain, never becomes a forest king. It just lives and dies a scrubby thing. I mean, wow! It brilliantly illustrates that resilience, deep competence, and true leadership in business are forged exclusively through adversity. If your business journey is too easy, you're never going to develop the deep roots you need to survive a real storm. The setbacks, the risks, those crazy market shifts, those are the strong winds that make you tough timber.
So, I want to leave you with this final thought as you go build your own personal action plan. Based on everything we've covered today, from defining value creation to balancing leadership with learning, which of these tough tree traits do you need to cultivate right now? Where are your roots maybe a little shallow? Embrace the wind, lean into the challenge, and start developing those competencies today. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and best of luck out there on your entrepreneurial journey.